This program will take you, step by step, through the startup process for the AM series boiler and water heater. Please take note that this video demonstrates the startup procedure of the AM series performed on a 1000 MBH unit. Although the number of modules will vary for AM series units, the startup procedure will be identical. Always consult your unit's manual in addition to this or other AM series videos when working on the equipment. Before we begin showing you all the necessary startup procedures, please review this list of important equipment and instruments that you'll need. Standard hand tools such as regular and Phillips head screwdrivers, an adjustable wrench, a manometer that is capable of reading both positive and negative pressures, a combustion analyzer, a digital multimeter, metric Allen wrenches. In order to remove the casing on your unit, please follow the steps as shown. First, lift the cover up on both sides and pull towards you to remove. Next, remove the 2 screws in the front. Then, pull the front panel up and then out about 2 inches, and then remove. Now that you have access to the inside of the unit, pull off all fan covers as shown. Now you can access all of the components inside your heater. Finally, remove the screw and take away the cover as shown to access the junction box. Before starting the heater, a very important note regarding the installation of your unit. The AM series unit must be completely and correctly installed prior to operation and startup. Checking that the unit is completely and properly installed according to AERCO's guidelines is mandatory to ensure proper and safe operation of the unit. If the unit is not installed completely and/or correctly, do not attempt to start the unit. Contact your installer immediately. Detailed installation guidelines can be found in your manual. Make sure that you check the combustion air and ventilation openings. Verify there are no restrictions or closures. Also verify that they have not been modified in any way. Inspect the combustion air inlet and check the discharge of flue gases. Next, check your unit's electrical supply. Begin by making sure the wall breaker is turned off. Then, check to make sure the wiring on your unit is correct. This means the hot side of the 120 volts AC, or the black wires, are connected to the black. The neutral side, or white wires, are connected to the white wires, and the ground wires are connected to the green wires in the unit, all as shown here. Once you've checked that all the wiring is correct, turn on the wall breaker and then turn on the unit's power switch. Now it's time to turn on the gas. First, make sure you have the correct gas type. If the available gas type is different than your boiler, the unit must be converted. Next, verify that the gas supply system is installed with all the safety devices and controls required under current national and local codes. Now, make sure all the system's on-off valves are in the correct position, either open or closed as specified in your unit's manual. Make sure the gas supply valve is open. Also, check to make sure there are no gas leaks. Check your unit's water systems. This means the condensate drain tube must be properly connected. Finally, be sure that all valves are open to the system, that the system pumps are running, and there is a way for the loop to dissipate heat. The condensate and neutralizing box is located inside your unit at the bottom. First, pull out the condensate box down and out. Open the cover up. Inspect the condensate box, making sure the collection box is intact. Fill with fresh water until it begins to flow out of the drain. Now you can reinstall the condensate reservoir by reversing these steps. Please take special note. If your unit has been turned off for more than 3 months, ensure the neutralizer is filled with water before starting the unit. By running the unit with a dry condensate neutralizer tank, combustion products could enter the room. The next warning is very important. If you smell gas, do not try to light any appliance. Do not try to touch any electrical switch or use a phone in your building. Immediately call your gas supplier and follow their instructions. To confirm the gas type on your unit, locate the rating label as we showed you earlier in this program. Natural and propane gas. For both, the maximum supply pressure equals 13 inches water column and the minimum supply pressure equals 3 inches water column. If the gas type is not correct, your unit will require a conversion. If you wish to run on propane, follow these instructions to convert to propane. Special conversion kits are included for this purpose inside every unit. The gas conversion procedure may be found in your unit's manual. When adjusting gas pressure on the unit, do not attempt to adjust either of these two screws. To start the test, first make sure you close the manual gas shutoff valve. Now, carefully and gently turn the screw for pressure port D 3 times, counterclockwise as shown here, and install the manometer tube. It's important to never force the pressure connection screw. This can cause damage to the gas valve. Connect a manometer with graduations of at least 1/10 of an inch water column to the inlet gas port D, as shown here. Open the manual gas shutoff valve. Check that the gas supply pressure on your manometer does not exceed 13 inches water column. If it does, then adjust the external gas supply regulator to bring the gas supply pressure between 12 and 13 inches water column. If it's too low, raise to between 12 and 13 inches. Turn the power switch on. Now you must generate a heat demand as follows. For a boiler, press the plus button and bring it to its maximum setting. For a water heater, press this plus button and bring it to its maximum setting. Allow 3 minutes for each heat exchanger to reach the maximum capacity. Check parameters 1120 up to 1123 to view the fire rate. This must be at 100% per heat exchanger. Check the manometer to make sure the gas supply pressure does not drop below 3 inches water column. This means that your inlet gas line or your gas pressure regulator is incorrectly sized. After you verify the correct gas pressures, go back and change the set point to its original setting. Close the manual gas shutoff valve. Disconnect your manometer. Turn the screw clockwise until it's snug. Check the pressure port for any gas leaks. The procedure you're about to see is correct for O2 ranges for a unit running at normal operating conditions at an altitude below 4,500 feet. For high altitude elevations, please consult your manual for more detailed instructions. Before we proceed with this process, an important note about the individual burners on your unit. They are not labeled sequentially. They are as follows: number 2, number 1, number 3, and number 4. If it doesn't already exist, begin by creating a combustion analysis port site 8 inches after the flue gas exhaust connection, as shown here. Create a demand by holding the plus button down until a temperature is displayed. For water heaters, press this plus button instead. Enter the installer menu and set parameter 2010 to high. Now, the master burner will run for 20 minutes at a high fire input. Wait 2 to 3 minutes for the O2 to stabilize. Insert a calibrated combustion analyzer into the combustion analysis port as shown here to take a flue gas sample. Compare the O2 reading with the high fire range provided in your manual. This also applies for the correct gas type. If the reading is outside of the specified range, it must be adjusted using the screw of the gas valve closest to the burner unit in fire. Use a 2.5 mm Allen wrench to turn the screw, clockwise to lower the O2 level and counterclockwise to increase it. Wait for the O2 level to increase in small increments to the correct valve. Set value of parameter 2010 to low. The master burner, or burner number 1, will run for 20 minutes at a low fire input. Please note, wait 2 to 3 minutes for the O2 to stabilize. Now compare the O2 reading with the low fire range provided in your manual. Now turn main power switch to off. To combustion calibrate the next burner, you should disconnect the plug from the connector as shown here. Then, connect the plug to the connector of the second burner. Repeat the process we've just shown you for all of the burners. Before you move on to the next step, reconnect the connector to the master burner. Close the combustion analysis probe with a suitable cap, in line with the pipe manufacturer's instructions. The user menu displays the most common parameters and readings for both the current selected module and the entire unit. To access this menu, press the reset button for 2 seconds, then release. Pressing the plus and minus buttons, you can scroll through the parameters. For a full parameter list, refer to your manual. To exit this menu, press the reset button for 2 seconds and then release. The installer menu allows access to change parameters. To access, press and hold both the reset and water minus buttons for 5 seconds, and then release. The installer menu icon should appear. To change a parameter, press and release the reset button and the valve will blink, as shown here. Use the plus and minus buttons to change the parameter and the reset button to confirm it. To exit the installer menu, press and hold the reset button for 5 seconds and then release. The factory menu allows access to parameters normally set at the factory. To access this menu, first turn main power off. Then, press and hold the reset and water minus button and turn power on, while continuing to hold these buttons. Wait until the word "init" is displayed. Then release the buttons. Parameters can be changed with the plus and minus buttons, as in the installer menu. To exit this menu, either press the reset button or power the unit off. To select your heating mode, enter the installer's menu and navigate to parameter 2003 using the same method as previously shown. Set this parameter to 0 to control via constant set point. Set the parameter to 1 to control via outdoor reset. Set the parameter to 4 to control with remote set point. Here's some information on how to locate important controller icons and commonly accessed menu items on your unit. To view fire rate, access your user menu as shown. Parameters 1120 through 1123 show the firing rate of each burner. To view temperature set point for your unit, press the plus button and the radiator icon will flash as shown. Your unit will display the current outlet temperature here. The system pressure will be displayed on your unit. It can be found here. You can tell which burners are firing by viewing the lit number of icons on the top left of your unit, as shown here. We hope you've enjoyed and more importantly learned from this presentation on AERCO's AM series boilers and water heaters. Please remember that this program is no substitute for the precise and detailed instructional manual that accompanied your unit. The video demonstrations you've just watched are only meant to provide you with another instructional resource for operating your unit correctly, effectively, and efficiently. If you have additional questions about your unit, please contact the local representative or dealer you purchase your unit from. If you would like to learn more about the AM series or other products in the AERCO family, please visit us at aerco.com.